Welcome. Hope you all are doing well today. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you all. I am here live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Instagram. So thank you all for joining me today. Good morning. Good morning, Megan. Thank you so much for joining me this wonderful morning. So glad that you are here. Today, we're going to be talking about setting the scene. You know, it is Masturbation May, of course. Solo Play May. Maybe we should call it that. Solo Play May. And it's a good time. It's a good time. And so we've talked about a lot of things this month already, right? We talked about fantasies and whatnot. And next week, we'll be talking a little bit more about erotica. But today, we are going to talk about setting the scene and what that actually means, right? What you really want to do is thinking about how the whole plays out, right? You want to set yourself up for success. So you want to create a seductive, stress-free space for your solo pleasure, okay? That is what you want to do when we are thinking about Solo Play May and how we can take advantage of it. So before we get to talking about that a little bit, if you have a question, you can feel free to submit your question in the comments section. Of course, you can DM me or you can go to qrco.de/lovetipsama and you can submit your question anonymously there. If you just let you know, tonight we do have a class. I do have a class. It's all about initiating sex. So if you're interested in wondering, hey, how do I do this? How do I, get to initiate sex? Well, this is the way that you would do that, right? If you haven't gotten my free class, please make sure you do that. Just go to velvetlipsexed.com/shop and you can get my free class where I talk about the art and science of seduction. I've renamed it recently to, zhuzh it up a little. And so I will have that available on my website soon, hopefully real soon. In the meantime, again, you can go there or check out Pillar, pillar.io/velvetlipsexed. That's sex without the E. And you can find all of my classes up on there. So at the end of this month, we're going to talk about sex and aging. I'll be at Starship in Noonan. So super excited about that. So please make sure it's a free class. It's in the Atlanta area. So if you are interested in wondering, hey, how do I make things happen as I get older? Well, this is going to be the class for you. Okay. All right, y'all. So when it comes to setting the scene, one of the things we have to understand is that our body is going to always respond to intention, right? Whether that's the quantum physics world, the law of attraction, that kind of thing. We have to prepare a space for pleasure. So, and we have to understand, like, hey, we deserve this. And so one of the things that you want to start with when you're thinking about, hey, how do I set the scene, is you really want to light the mood, okay? That means shift the energy in the room, right? So for instance, if I wanted to shift the energy to the room, I could say, for me, hey, Google, turn bedroom lights red. And boom, right? Then I get a nice red hue in my bedroom where I can maybe think about, hey, this solo play is going to be good for me. It's going to be great. So wonderful. Or whatever mood, maybe your favorite color. Maybe you love purple, right? Maybe that's the thing for you. Hey, Candace, happy Monday. So glad you're here. Maybe purple is the color for you. So you say, hey Google, turn the bedroom lights purple. And boom, then you have a nice purple hue, right? So whatever color that makes you feel good, get in the mood, maybe dim the lights, like, hey, Google, turn bedroom lights to 50%, right? So then it's going to turn it down a little bit, right? So now we may have more of the glow of my computer is set up. But all right, hey, Google, turn bedroom lights to daylight. Hey, Google, turn bedroom lights to daylight. Awesome. Perfect. Hey, Google, turn bedroom lights to 100%. Boom. All right. So there we have it. So we can think about like all the ways that we can use our lighting to really exemplify and like really make our scene come alive. So maybe you want to have fairy lights, or maybe you want candles to help with that, creation of your intimacy. You could even elevate it by using multi-purpose candles, right? Those multi-purpose candles where you light them and then you can also play with them, like use them as kind of wax play, but also massage oils. There's like all sorts of sensory play that you could use. So you can literally transform your bedroom or transform the place that you like to have solo play in the ways that you want, right? In addition, you can also set the vibe with music, right? So creating your own playlist. Oh my gosh, I have amazing playlist. If you haven't checked out my blog already on this, you can check out my favorite Spotify sex playlist. It's called the Big Sex Playlist. It was actually one of my clients who were like, oh my gosh, this is like the best playlist. You have to get it. And I was like, oh, yes, I am down. Thank you so much. Because playlists can really, really put you in a sexy mood, right? So whatever your thing is, just make sure you play it, because for you, it's about setting up the scene for you. You can match the tempo to your mood. So maybe you start off nice and slow, and then maybe you move up faster. And then also you want to choose music that doesn't have like super jarring lyrics. It might be better to go like instrumental music, that kind of thing, if you're like easily distracted, because you want the music to help you in the scene. You don't want it to detract, right, from the scene. In addition, you want to curate a playlist like ahead of time. So again, check out my Big Sex playlist on Spotify. Not my Big Sex playlist, but check out the Big Sex playlist on Spotify. If you go to my blog, which is velvetlipsexed.com/blog, it's that first post, setting the scene. You can click on that and it'll take you right to that playlist. So super amazing playlist, by the way. Dress the part. So sometimes it means getting sexy, right? There's so many studies around like getting dressed, right? That's why fashion is so popular, because we know when we dress really well, we feel good in our clothes, okay? And so when we set the scene for ourselves, that means, hey, I'm putting on lingerie, or I'm putting on something sexy, or something that makes me feel good. And then that is the way to hopefully get you in the mood, right? So wear something that makes you feel sexy, or maybe it's powerful, playful, whatever, soft, like whatever the vibe you're going for, just dress the part, okay? And then also be prepared, okay? Nothing's worse than not being prepared. So if you are a splasher, right? Towels, splash blankets, anything that could get messy, you want to put down. Make sure you have maybe those toys ready. They're charged, they're clean. You don't have to dig for them or anything. Get them ready. In addition, you also want to think about any kind of whatever you're using. So maybe you're using condoms on your toys because you don't want to clean it later, or whatever the case may be. You probably still have to clean it a little bit. Gloves, plastic wrap, latex panties, anything that is going to like help you get in the mood. Lube, of course. If you also maybe even have a backup bottle if you're running low. Any kind of like wipes, warm washcloth, anything for easy cleanup. That's what you also want to have available. Okay. It makes things smoother. It keeps things going uninterrupted. And again, it helps you to get set up for success overall. In addition, when you want to clean up, you could also clean up like by feeling good in your skin. So maybe before you get in your bed for a solo pleasure date, right? You get in the shower, you refresh your body, you maybe put it on a subtle scent that makes you get into the mood, right? When you have a clean, moisturized body, we know that radiates care, and that intention, again, is going to speak volumes. You also want to eliminate the distractions, okay? There's no greater mood killer than stress peaking in mid-session. You want to be thinking about what your phone is doing. Before you get into solo play, put your phone on do not disturb. You don't want it ringing, buzzing, doing whatever the thing is. Like, you don't want that happening. Handle any kind of pressing chores earlier in the day so you're not worried about the things. If you have like kids or roommates or something, find that private window of time and space, or plan a night away, right? Maybe you get your own hotel room. I'm super excited. I'm going to World Pride DC this weekend, and I have my own room, my own space, free from a child. So I am super excited just to have some fun and really kind of dive into like my own, right, solo pleasure. But just making sure you're creating that clear boundary between you and the world, so that you can enjoy your own sensual space. Okay. And then, of course, maybe do some emotional prepping. Know that, hey, at 2:00 today, this is what I'm doing. I need to set up. Maybe how you set up is great, but talk to, maybe if you have a lover or a partner, like what you'd like to explore, right? Consent, communication, shared anticipation, especially if you're doing some solo pleasure play and you're like looking at each other while doing some solo pleasure. That would be great, right? Because they can see like what you're doing, how you're doing it, what how they can, maybe assist you with your solo pleasure, right? All of that can really help you with the sort of the emotional prep. So understand that solo pleasure is just not about having that spontaneous time, right? It's really about setting the time, being intentional with your time, preparing your space for pleasure, really setting the scene as a whole. Because when you treat sex as an experience worth curating, that is where you open the door to like deeper satisfaction, more mindful connection, because you're like, hey, this is what I want. And of course, a sense of, sacred sensuality, something that you treat for yourself. So again, set the lights, light the candles, cue the playlist, fluff the pillows, get your towel down, your toys ready, and just really give yourself permission to really revel in that ritual for yourself. Okay. All right. So that is it for today around pleasure and self-pleasure. I hope that you got some tips. I hope you're thinking about your own playlist, or you're checking out that Big Sex playlist that I found on, or that I found that my client referred to me on Spotify. Make sure you really take advantage of this stuff. Okay. STS is coming up soon. Tonight, wait, first, geez, all these thoughts. Okay. Tonight, initiating sex workshop. Make sure you sign up for that. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking about how to create a successful event. So if you are in the love, intimacy, pleasure industry, have an adult brand and the like, I'll be talking about how to create a successful event with SDS. So if you are interested, you can just go to sexdownsouth.com. If you're interested in going to SDS, please make sure you use my discount code Marla SDS to get 20% off your ticket. I think that is it for today, y'all. I hope you have an amazing time getting some solo pleasure play in. Next week, we're going to talk about erotica and what that can do for you. And I'm super excited to share how I'll be collaborating with some new erotica. Yes, Candace, you're registered for tomorrow. That's awesome. Cannot wait to see you there. Thank you so much for signing up. We do have tiered pricing for folks. So if you are interested in, and honestly, no one's probably going to be turned away for lack of funds. Just email me if y'all want to get there. But please, if you can support SDS in any way you can, I would love to teach you on how to make an event successful. So, all righty. I think that is the end of my time for today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Marla Renee Stewart. I am a certified sexologist and sexual strategist, helping you with your love life. And if you have any questions about anything, please always feel free to email me your questions at gettips@velvetlipsexed.com. Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here again. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. set the scene, get your solo pleasure in, and we'll talk soon, okay? All right. Bye-bye. Let's turn the music back on.